This is CliffCentral.com. Auto Central, powered by AutoTrader on CliffCentral.com.
Oh, well, there we go. Welcome. Hello, Vilmarie.
I'm sorry. Hello. I was so eager to get back here.
I see so. Yep, folks, it's that time of the week. It is Wednesday, 1 o'clock, and it is time for Auto Central, proudly brought to you by AutoTrader.co.za. We've got a couple of guests in here, and we have our usual foray. Welcome back, people. We've missed you.
Yeah, because you were all on your own here last
by myself.
week.
There was no one around me. No.
All by myself.
We're going to get to that voice in a couple.
Yeah, see if you can guess who that is.
See if you can guess. Yeah, we're going to play mystery, guess the voice there. But yeah, welcome to the studio, Vilmarie Janssen van Rensburg.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Chad. Yeah,
welcome. Got that husky voice going because
I do. Is it sexy? Not with a nasal thing going, hey?
It's a little nasal, yes. I'm just going to say a little nasal. I'm going to take the fifth on that one.
Did you see I threw him off there, George? He didn't quite know what to say.
I know he was listening. That's why. I'm like, I can't say this on air. We also have George Minnie from AutoTrader. George, you're also sounding a little rougher than usual.
Nasally, you were going to say?
Yeah, I was going to go with nasally.
Well, it's, every time you get on and off of aeroplanes, everyone's coughing and spluttering and giving you all their germs. So I think I picked it up there.
Hey, yeah, you were out traveling.
Yep.
You were busy jet setting, and did you have a good trip at least? Nice, productive trip?
I had a good trip, so all successful. Glad to be back, though. There's nothing like sleeping in your own bed.
But didn't Gareth give you some a tip or something that you said just now of rubbing what in your nose? Next time you go flying,
Bactroban. Yeah,
that stops the germs apparently.
Yeah, stops
apparently
the airborne germs.
But I mean, that's going to give you a Bactroban smell on the entire flight. It's not going to make you very popular, is it?
No, well, it's that or a face mask.
Yes.
Fast head in the way of like Bangkok and these highly congested areas. It is a little nasty.
Yeah.
But of course, it was a lengthy flight, so you're subjected to it for quite a while.
Yes, you are.
And then, of course, the mystery voice.
Mystery voice.
There we go. And apparently the mystery voice comes in different dialects as well.
I heard you. I read.
Can work Afrikaans praat. Of if you want, I can ngathetha ngesixhosa. Otherwise, ngabua ka Sotho. Ngwa. Hona rwala. Kuma bua Sotho mona mo studio. Vilmarie.
Can you I think you're turning my sound there.
But you're not on. You're not on this.
I'm not on.
You're not on this, Vilmarie.
Oh, sorry.
It's good to see you again, Vilmarie.
It's
Hello,
very
everyone.
nice to see you.
It's me, Tumisho. Hi.
Yes, it is Tumisho Masha. Welcome.
Hello, thank you.
Yay!
It's so exciting to be here.
What's it like sitting on that side of the desk?
It's awkward. It's weird. But it's cool. I'm loving it because now I don't have to run the desk. I don't have to do anything. I'm just chilling. I'm going to let you do all the hard work and I'm just going to talk here.
Tomisho's normally got that serious face going that you've got going now.
Yeah. Oh, this one.
He's just nervous behind that desk. Don't mess up.
Well, I'm flying this thing here and it is a little intimidating.
You got to multititask and it's not a general thing for guys. I'm sorry. But it's just my...
Oh, like women multitasking while they're driving, doing makeup and talking to the nanny on the phone at the same time? Multitasking?
I don't have a nanny.
Oh, okay.
So not there yet.
So you need to do the nannying duties as well.
Oh, my word, no. Hang on. But yet, multitask in many ways.
Well, yes, yeah. So we've got Tumisho in. Sorry to interject and just.
No, but do you know?
How's it, guys?
Do you know Tumisho is actually part of Cliff Central too?
Yes.
Of course.
That's why I'm asking. What's it like sitting on that side of the desk? He's never seen the back ends of these screens before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually haven't.
Did you know, George? He does the Black Life show with Tumisho Masha.
I do the Black Life show with BC.
Sorry, with BC. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm getting there.
I am Tumisho Masha. Hello.
Yeah, you've got quite an illustrious career locally and a little abroad, do you not?
You know, I've lived a while, Chad. That's what I can say. And I've done a couple of things.
You don't look so old.
There's a couple of years behind you.
I've been very fortunate. You know, they say black don't crack, and I'm trying to live up to that. It's a lot of pressure. And I was born in the 70s where tough people were born, you know. I mean, you can't be born in the 70s in South Africa and not be tough. I mean, things were different then. You can see in the pictures, even the weather was like different in the 70s.
Why tough?
Because, like, it was a tough time, man. Like, the weather was not the same as it is now. It was hotter. Like, things were different.
Tumisho, you've had a breeze, man. You've been acting with people like Angelina Jolie.
Yeah, but that was a long time ago, though. When we were both very
When she
young.
was still nice.
I'm going to hop in here with a Samuel L. Jackson sort of credential here. Thank you.
When she was still hot.
No, she's still hot. Like, I definitely would.
I don't think so.
But, Brad is a good friend of mine, so I wouldn't do that to Brad.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no,
I'm so sorry.
But Billy Bob...
so it's been so tough.
Just drop that one there.
Well, I mean, it's not like we call each other every other week, but, yeah.
But you've been doing, I mean, are you still so involved in the movies? In fact, I know that you've been busy with your own thing.
Yes.
Are we allowed to talk about it?
We can talk about it. Well, I'm waiting for my movie to come out, Mandela's Gun. It's been like the longest movie that's been in post-production I've ever heard of. It's just like any day now, and it's been like 2 years.
Of any day now,
Yeah.
Right?
2 years. Isn't it normally like a year max that it kind of should be?
Well, you know that once you're finished, it's about a year of post-production. They're going to put it together, grade it, the colors,
also
do
depends
the sound.
on depends on what. I mean, if they're building a sci-fi or something, it's going to take a little longer. But if it's a little documentary, it shouldn't be the end of the world.
Well, look, I mean, I saw the film; it was already done. I did what we call ADR, which is basically you go in and dub your own voice over because maybe there was a little bit of a scratch on that one piece of film or something like that. And of course, we were waiting for the score to be completed for the film, but that would have been done by now. So it's, I guess, any day now. But I heard that the director, my very good friend and mentor, John Irving, was not well. So maybe that's what
it's caused the delay. But I'm curious. So besides just acting, do you also do stunt driving?
I do my own stunts. I just did a TV show, but that's because we just don't have any money in South Africa to hire a stunt driver.
So you have to do it yourself.
Yeah, so you have to do it, and they just hope that you don't crash and kill yourself and everybody else. And you're wondering, are they really insured? Because a friend of ours borrowed us his CLS 63, right, AMG. So he wasn't on set, fortunately, so he doesn't know what I was doing to his car.
Oh,
but I was like ripping it up.
A good thing, yeah.
These podcasts live forever.
Yeah, they probably do.
Get around.
I'm sorry that I did that, but he doesn't know, and it came back fine, fortunately. And you get to drive different cars, and none of them are like made up for stunts. It's like, okay, we got this van, right? Because your character right now is driving this van, and it's probably like a 10-year-old, 15-year-old van. You're not sure
if the brakes work
properly, and then you have to turn the corner and just like kind of just put it to the side a little bit, and then go straight. And you go, okay, fine, I'll see what I can do. And then you hope you don't crash into a pole.
So is there really no budgets in South Africa for stunt? For the movie cinema?
There is budget, especially for the movies. But I think that what we do is, especially with our television, we've cut corners so much because we're trying to please the broadcasters. The broadcaster will say, I just want this show done, and I'm going to give you half the budget that you guys were using 5 years ago. Can you do it? And the producer's like, I just need the money, man, and I really need this show. I'll do anything.
I know that all too well. I worked in production as well.
Yeah,
it went from 30 million, and at the end, the final budget that they had to work with was 3.
Yeah.
How do you work with 10% of your budget?
You just go, we'll do what we can.
Huh? You lend friends Mercedes-Benz.
Yeah, that's what you do. Yeah. And then hope the friend, you don't crash it, and then that's the end of the friendship.
Well, I just did, last week, I did some stunt work, some bike work. Have you ever done that? Because we know you know how to ride a bike now.
I did some stunt work for a bike, but it wasn't intentional. I did a stunt by Monte Casino. It was like the third or fourth time I'd ever ridden a bike. So a friend of mine had this, he had a Gusto.
MV Augusta.
That's it, right?
Yeah. It's like Italian. It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. And so he loaned me his Blackbird, CBR Blackbird. It was many years ago. So that was like
the thing.
Bike, you know what I mean?
Was, the business.
So he decides, I think you're getting good enough now. Let's go on the highway from Sunning Hill to Four Ways. And I'm like, cool, I made it. Then we get to Monte Casino, and he's like, they've got some really cool curves here. Let's see how fast we can go. And I'm like, this doesn't make any sense, dude, because you've been teaching me this is my fourth lesson. And he just bolts, and I'm like, let me try and follow, because I'm a man. I have to compete. Ego. Next thing, there is a roundabout traffic circle after a blind curve. that I just forgot about, and I'm going way too fast for a novice. And so fortunately I landed on the grass, but the bike left me and went on its own. Yeah, that was the last time he borrowed his bike.
But that's not successful stunting.
Yeah, I was about to say, he loaned you a bike. He graciously loaned you a bike. No, he was dumb enough to loan you a bike.
No, he was dumb. Like, I wasn't even feeling bad about it. I was like, yo, I guess your bike is total. What are you going to do?
Because I think it's no secret that you didn't have learners or anything.
It's no, it's not a secret. Fortunately,
well, it's not anymore if it was.
This cannot be proven in a court of law. We can't go back in the time, so it's fine.
Well, we know you can ride now, so
yeah. Well, he taught me how to ride.
Yeah, I hope it went. I hope you could do your own
taught me how to ride.
Yeah,
maybe
probably.
one day I'll get you to teach me how to ride.
With pleasure.
Okay.
Well, Tumisho, we're going to get back to your somewhat dodgy car history in a little while. But I want to interject right there because while we're on this topic of bikes, AutoTrader.co.za, AutoTrader South Africa, has a lovely big announcement, and I think George is sitting here and he's quite eager to get on with it. And it is a new initiative, but on the topic of bikes, I'm actually just going to hand this straight over to you, George. I mean, what is it about?
Curious.
Tell us about it.
Yeah, so we, for the first time in the history of AutoTrader, decided that our salespeople needed cars. Funny that. But up to now, they've been driving their own cars. So we decided to buy an entire fleet of cars for our salespeople. And well, we've only really bought half the cars so far. We'll do the rest in the next 12 or 24 months. But we bought 52 cars. Now, what do you do with 52 cars?
So they stand out.
Yeah. So you've got these 52 white cars, and do we slap a logo on the side? Everybody does that.
Yeah.
It's kind of boring.
Yeah.
I hate that.
I hate it.
Me too. Good.
So
it's like the magnet thing or the
Yes.
other magnet. Oh, that's horrible.
It's horrible.
Yes.
It's, when you see a logo on the side of the car, can't you be a little bit more creative?
It's just very unoriginal.
Yes. So anyway, we thought, is there anything else we can do? So Angie and myself sat down and kind of agreed that we didn't want to do something normal. And fortunately, somebody had a bright idea, and we've ended up with the scenario that we have approached artists from between 10 and 5, and we've partnered with Quebeca, which is a local charity, and we've got the artists to provide us with templates for the cars. With an African theme.
Oh, awesome.
And these 52 cars will be parked around the shopping centres in South Africa, and the public can come and colour in the cars with permanent markers.
But because I saw you colouring in
Yes.
on Twitter.
Where is it?
It's
Where's this car? I want to
George
colour.
Mini.
I just got a grown-up. I was going to say adult coloring book, but that has a very bad implication. I got a grown-ups coloring book, which is not the same as an adult coloring book, and I'm just loving coloring in again. So I want to color in that car, man. Just at least
being all creative.
the bonnet or something.
There's going to be
52 cars
of
for
them
you to
that
do.
you
I'm not going to say I want to do 52. I just said.
Well, one of them. I'll come with you.
I'll come. Let's go.
But yeah, no, I'm serious. But where are they now?
So that's all fair and well, making the cars stand out, but we thought we wanted to go the extra mile. What we decided to do was partner with Quebeca because, believe it or not, there are tens of thousands of children in South Africa who take over 2 hours to walk to school. 2 hours to walk to school. 2 hours. That's between 2 and 4 hours just to get to school and back. And what Quebeca does is they provide with their partners these kids with bicycles.
Oh wow.
And so what's going to happen in the shopping centres is the public can come and pay 50 Rand, and they get the opportunity to colour the car in or part of the car. It takes a long time. I tried yesterday. A few squares take a fair amount of time.
Quite a while, yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
so
commitment.
it's a bit of a commitment, but it's a lot of fun. And so we're going to have these
It's
cars.
therapeutic as well.
It is a bit therapeutic,
Yes.
like when do you get to actually write on a car? You don't.
Yeah, it's one of those
You
things.
can
You just
colour
don't get a
in
chance to
bright
do it.
colours.
I've done it once when someone parked really badly, but I didn't say a nice
And let me
thing.
guess, you did it with your car key as well.
No, I hope
No, I
not.
did it with a Cokie.
With his
Was it with the
lipstick.
with his lipstick?
Like, this is not cool, dude. Okay, that's what I said.
So with Quebeca, we're going to try and give as many kids as we can bicycles. And these bicycles, for every child that gets a bicycle, 5 people are affected positively besides that child themselves.
There's a knock-on effect to this.
There's a definite knock-on effect. And we're going to try and help as many kids as we can. So come along, pay your 50 Rand, colour in the car. All of that money is going to go to buying children bicycles to get to school. Increase their fitness, increase their alertness, increase their grades. And I don't know the exact number, but it's over 20% increase in their grades as a result of the effect of the bicycle.
Of course.
Largely due to the attendance of that, because, George, if I'm not mistaken, they almost need to, before they become a recipient of one of these bikes, they need to sign a contract of sorts, don't they?
Yes, they do. They need to sign a contract, and they have to treat the bike in a certain way, and they have to use it. So there is an obligation there, but the kids are massively and positively impacted, and we think as a business that one of the fundamental challenges in South Africa is education. Mm-hmm. And through these bicycles, we're going to try and help improve education.
Because it helps improve their attendance. I mean, that's probably one of the biggest aspects of it. That's the biggest growth aspects of it, is the fact that their attendance improves, so their grades improve as well, because they're attending more school, and they don't have that excuse of, but transport or the weather. And I mean, can you imagine? I mean, you just sit there and think, okay, well, walking to school, straight away you picture a good day.
Yeah.
You're not picturing a windy day. You're not picturing an icy cold day. Rain, hail, and that's going to either stunt it completely, or it's just going to keep you away from school completely.
Look, it still hurts on a bicycle. Just being honest.
Yeah, no, just saying. But
it's much better. Look, I used to walk to school when I first started going to school. I was like 4 years old, walking like long kilometers to school back in the day. And I can tell you that if I had a bike, it would have made a huge difference back then.
Yeah.
And what I really like about it is that you guys are making the kids sign a contract, which at first sounds like contract for the kids, but you're teaching them like that's what real life is like, right?
100%.
With everything that you do, you start working, we're going to pay you this much. And then, however, what we expect from that is this, and you have to sign here, and it's like a promise, which really teaches kids from a very early age that every good thing in life, you don't get for free. You have to kind of work or offer something in return, and I think that's great. It's not just, oh, shame, you get a bike, and then when they grow up,
and then I don't look after it or anything.
Yeah, and then what happens is, I think charity is a good thing, but just giving stuff away all the time, people get used to the fact that someone will give me something. So if I just wait and sit back long enough, someone will have to come and give me something. And I think the great thing that South African kids now need to learn is someone will give you something if you are prepared to do something in return, and usually first.
Yes.
Yeah,
so that's
100%.
great. Well done, guys.
No, brilliant. So it's really right at the beginning of the start of this campaign, and we're hoping that we can raise enough money to bring an entire container of bikes in.
How many bikes is that, George? Do we know?
I don't know.
I got 50 bucks. Like, when do I get to color a car? Right?
How do we see where we can go?
Yeah.
So the main platform that's being used for the communication is autotrader.co.za/drive change. Okay. Or you can go onto Twitter and look up the hashtag drive change. And please tweet about it, pass it along, go visit the shopping centres. You're going to see them all over the main shopping centres in South Africa anyway. And then you'll get a chance to interact and be part of what we believe is going to be one of the biggest pieces of art in the world if we put all the cars together.
Absolutely.
But now I'm curious, because now you bought this for your sales guys, but they can't use it yet.
That's correct.
So what is the period that we'll be able to colour in and give our $50 before your sales guys start using it?
So it'll be in the shopping centres for a couple of weeks.
Okay.
I'd like to leave that a little bit open-ended, because we don't know how the colouring in is going to go.
Yes.
So, but it'll be definitely be a couple of weeks.
And once the sales guys have the cars, like let's say 2 months, 3 months from now, I have a Koki pen, and I'm walking past one of the cars at a shopping mall, and I noticed there's maybe a spot that wasn't filled in. Would I still be?
It's not going to be at the mall anymore.
No. I mean, I'm just saying, like in the parking lot, like the guy's gone for lunch at the Nando's.
They're actually being very clever with this, because once it's being coloured in now with these Sharpies, and it's partnered with Sharpie as well, so you get to keep your set of Kokis.
Oh.
So there's a little something
there's
for you
chance
to take.
Where you think, I didn't do that one so well. Oh, and there's the car that I worked on.
It's for your grown-up book
It's
at
probably
home.
going to wash off in due course, because the initial application of these coloured-in blocks now is then going to have a lacquer coat over it. It's going to have a clear coat over it to lock it in.
I was going to ask.
But each and every one of the 52 cars is going to be unique and individual in terms of its color schemes and that. And when you see them floating around, it's bound to cause a little bit of a stir. Hopefully no traffic incidents with people turning
They
to
look
take a look and
great.
try and get photos of
Yeah.
it. But the little vehicles look absolutely fantastic. We've seen proposed artworks and that. George, I'm really excited about it, and the shopping centres are going to be major centres. So we're looking at places like Eastgate, East Rand Mall, Gateway, Pavilion, I believe.
Yes, Pavilion, Gateway,
Menlyn,
Centurion,
Menlyn.
Menlyn Park.
Santon?
No, not Santon City.
No, we've got Four Ways. I believe we've got Four Ways Mall.
Oh,
Yes.
good.
It's
That's
close
right
to
by
you.
That's a stone's throw away from you, Tumisho.
I'll go
walk
with you.
there. Yeah, let's go.
But down in the Cape as well, I believe.
Yes, so there'll be shopping centres down in the Cape and KZN, and you really battle to miss it, I think. And as Chad says, we're going to be putting a clear varnish coat over the
Thank you,
artwork,
Bosh.
and that'll stop it from
Lock it
chipping
all
and
in
lock it all in.
and that, yeah.
Yeah, but we're very excited to try and bring an entire container of bikes into the country.
I think it's fabulous.
And
I'm
the other
definitely
thing
going
is
to put my 50
Each
bucks
of these cars is an artist's impression, and with if you're into the art scene and you look up the names, you'll know who these artists are. Each of them will be unique in terms of their colouring in, but also to that artist's pattern and what he envisaged that car to look like. Which means that each car has a story. And so what we're going to do is we're going to put together a story for every single car for our salespeople to walk around with.
Because no doubt they're going to be stopped and asked about the car, and they need to be able to talk
Stunning,
about it.
yeah.
So there'll be a story about the artist, there'll be a story about the car, where it was, where it got coloured in, and what the process was to get it to where it is and why we're doing it, especially with Quebecer. So very excited. I think it's going to be as big, if not bigger than a 99-cent new car.
And that was huge.
That was huge.
That was
absolutely
and that's still ongoing. We're still getting interaction on that. I mean, the
That's
tweets and that are still coming in with a hashtag 99-cent new car.
Yeah.
Can't believe it.
So another thing to mention is after the fact, we're obviously going to give these cars to the salespeople, and then once they're driving around in the street, we will continue to try and drive the campaign with Quebecer in continuing to support these kids that have to walk to school.
That's awesome.
Absolutely.
But now you were saying you wanted to walk to Four Ways. Don't you have a car, Tumisho? Because, I mean, you celebrities should have...
I'm actually going to make it a little easier for him because we've got the guys in the office listening here, so I'm just going to get there if they're actually listening. But yes. Yeah, we're actually referencing you guys.
Well,
yeah,
I do have a
and
car, but I
you're
just think
included
it's
there.
important that we actually walk more often, man. I think South Africa is a very weird spot in terms of walking. And I remember when I used to live in Craigavon, which is just up the road, and I walked to Cedar Square one time. And people literally stopped because they recognized me. They're like, "Are you okay? Do you need a lift?" They were so concerned because they're like, "Why are you walking?" And I'm like, "The shopping center is
right,
a kilometer away from my house. Why should I always have to drive there just to show everybody that I've got a car?" But there is that thing when you're a celebrity sometimes that, your car is an extension of who you are. I remember when I used to drive a Bantam Bucky, I was going through a tough time financially. And so I had a Ford Bantam, like an old Ford Bantam. And I get to the garage and the petrol attendant cannot believe that I'm driving this car. He's like, "I can't believe that this is your car. I refuse to believe that you would drive a car like this." And it got me thinking that, I guess when you're a celebrity, there's that pressure that you have to like drive a certain type of car, but you shouldn't put that kind of pressure on yourself. You should get a car that you really want for yourself.
Yeah, that you want to can afford.
And you can afford.
Yeah, that you can afford.
That you can afford.
Yeah, we're gonna
But
get into
whoever
that.
drives a car they can afford, I'm totally driving a car I can't afford, and I'm cool with that.
I'm thinking I'm the same.
So just a last word for me on this drive change is it's going to be on Expresso TV as well, and an interesting thing, Tumisho, that you asked a question just now, how do they do this, is Graffiti, who is doing the wrapping and the vinyl coat of the car for us, is going to do a TV show with us on the process.
Oh, cool.
That's awesome.
And this is where I was just mentioning to the guys in the office here as well, that from next week Wednesday, we're going to have a car downstairs here at the Cliff Central Studios that the guys will be able to donate their 50 Rand get their pack of Sharpies. They'll be able to colour in a block or three.
So we have one here.
There's going to be one here.
There we go. You don't have to walk.
You see, you're not even going to have to walk far.
You just walk down the stairs.
I'm just going to have to walk to Rivonia.
Well, when you're here doing your show, come on, work with me here.
These are pretty sexy cars. I'm looking at all these pictures and they're just amazing.
It's lovely. It really looks like you guys had fun.
Well, who goes to work to colour in?
No, these are really
not
nice.
anymore.
Wow.
Hey, but we should.
I can't wait.
We're going to take a quick break now, and then we'll be back with our review. We're going to chat a little bit about the weekend, and we've actually got two reviews because we're reviewing the Nissan Qashqai, and Vilma, you've got a review on a bike.
On the stunning Ducati 899 Panigale.
Oh, can't wait for that one. All right, and we'll be back right after this.
Choice. Sometimes you have it, and sometimes you don't. AutoTrader gives you the choice. Now you can shop, compare, and buy new cars. Watch our expert video reviews and research before you buy. AutoTrader New Car. The choice is yours. This is CliffCentral.com.
Yeah, there we go, and we're back enjoying a little bit of a breather there. We're in studio with at George Mini.
At SA Speed Queen.
At SA Speed Queen. Tumisho, what's your handle?
At Tumisho Masha.
At Tumisho Masha, there we go, and at Chad Lookoff. And of course, you can get in on the conversation by using the hashtag AutoCentral. Also follow CliffCentral.com. And you can get hold of AutoTrader, not only on the website, autotrader.co.za, but we've got a whole host of social media channels as well, and that includes Twitter, Facebook page, YouTube channel. That's, of course, where our reviews go up and out. Instagram, Pinterest, you name it, it's pretty much out there. I just don't think we're on Tinder yet.
Just Google AutoTrader SA.
Yeah, you'll find
That's it. Yeah, just Google AutoTrader SA.
Is that dating site, Tinder?
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Now
Well,
that,
let's
okay,
yeah.
now that you
Now
know
I get it.
Now that you guys are with us.
Say, like,
this is
Ashley
going
Madison
south.
as
We
well.
stick
Okay.
to the cars.
Okay, let's stick to the cars, yeah.
All right. Well, my review for this week actually is the Nissan Qashqai. And this was a bit of a strange one because I hadn't driven it yet. I didn't attend the launch. Didn't crack a nod for that invite. And then as soon as I got hold of the Qashqai, I suddenly realized what all the fuss was about. Because the journalists that I was now chatting about, they all were referencing, but it's not as good as a Qashqai. It's not as good as a Qashqai. Yeah, but the Qashqai's got it beat. So I was really, really keen to get behind the wheel of this car and just figure out what it was that made this car.
It's got a beat?
Qashqai's got it beat.
Got it beat.
Oh,
you know, it's
okay.
Got it beat. You gotta speak slowly. She's from Pretoria.
Hey.
Oh, deep, eh?
We
Shots
both
fired.
know.
Yeah.
We're both from Pretoria, but I got out. I managed.
Pretoria is a place you come from, not go to.
No, I'd actually love to go back there. Like they've got cars in Pretoria. People in Pretoria love cars. But I wanted to ask about
you go
the
like
Qashqai.
Waterkloof.
You know what I mean?
And the heights and
You
that
know
sort of
what I'm
stuff.
talking about.
I know the
No.
story. I know the stories there.
Now, this Qashqai, this new one, I've totally been blown away by just how it looks.
Okay, yeah.
And I've been salivating over it. And I think I saw the very one you're talking about before I walked into the studio.
Okay.
And I was really impressed with the interior as well, man. How is it to drive, actually?
It is as good to drive as what it looks.
Wow.
Because they've updated the looks now. It looks, granted, a little more like the Duke in a couple of places, but it's
pretty, though.
It's a pretty looking car.
It's very round. It almost looks like a little bit of the Cayenne.
It has that sort of big brother
you
sort
know
of
what?
look to it.
The backlights of the Qashqai look very much like the
similar.
Cayenne.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. They're not the only manufacturers that are sort of cribbing a couple of ideas from the Stuttgart manufacturer there. So it's one of those. But Nissan, in terms of what blew me away, was the build quality. Because you can see the build quality and the ergonomics, and just sitting inside it, you can see this is a company that's been making cars for a long time. They know what they're doing. They know what the public responds to. Had the 1.6 DCI turbo diesel motor. Pretty good motor, nice motor. What do we got? 96 kilowatts, 4,000 RPM. But this one was fitted with the CVT gearbox, which is an Xtronic gearbox. Now, I'm not a big fan of automatic gearboxes as a whole, and a CVT is essentially like a scooter gearbox.
Why not?
I like to be in control of the vehicle. I like to be in control.
You're so old school. It's cute.
I am old school, but I'm not a 70s kid, I'll have you know. So there's those old school traits coming through. But the CVT gearbox is like a scooter gearbox. It's a singular gear. They throw in a couple of little hesitations so that it feels like you're changing
I
gear.
do not want a scooter
I can't
gearbox in
believe
my
it.
Qashqai.
That's the same. It's one gear.
This is CVT gearbox.
Okay.
Constant velocity
No,
gearbox. Constant variable gearbox.
Well, I think that's why maybe that's the problem, because your gearbox is not really changing. It's just pretending to change, but it's really just one gear the whole time.
Yeah.
You're just going faster or slower.
Exactly.
But how did it feel? I mean, like, did it have enough grunt to get around?
Yeah, it's got more than enough grunt. The motor's great. The motor's great. It's a little noisy when you sit there on the idle, but it was the gearbox that let it down. Now, the Qashqai in this sort of trim, which is the 1.6 DCI Accenter with the CVT, this retails for 392,100. Get this, for just over 1,000 rand more, 393,400. So 1,000, what's that? 200 rand, 1,300 rand more. You can get the same motor, manual gearbox, but then instead of just front wheel drive, the four-wheel drive version as well.
For like
a grand,
under $2,000.
Under $2,000 extra. It's coming with all the bells and whistles, the same 19-inch wheels. It sounds like a lot, but if you think of it, 400,000.
But I don't want it in manual.
No, that's
I don't
the
like
problem.
manual.
I also don't
I'm
think-
through with having to change gears or sit in second on the highway, because really,
I am
let's be
so
honest,
with you.
we're
I
always
went
driving in traffic.
Am I alone here?
I left manual cars about a decade ago.
Yes.
Yeah, until you know
Sorry,
that
Chad.
feeling,
George, you're dead to
George,
me.
when your left foot starts to shake because you've been in second for like 2 hours just trying to
Always
get home.
traffic. Just move back to Pretoria.
That's the traffic land. That's traffic land right there.
But I must be honest, if you've got an open road in front of you, there's nothing like that direct drive when you change
Oh,
gears.
for manual, yeah, for sure.
It is.
But-
I suppose there's a time and a place for everything, and I won't write automatic off completely, automatic gearboxes. There's a couple of really good, your dual clutch gearboxes.
Yeah.
There's some good ones, there's some terrible ones. I recently
quite
drove
good.
the Audi S7 with the S-tronic gearbox, and surprisingly
They're
enough,
good.
it worked well. It's not without its flaws, but it's a good gearbox. I'm not mad on some of the other offerings. But
I love BMWs.
I'm driving the S4 now.
very nice. The MDCT boxes are nice.
Yeah.
The BMWs, like their automatic is like the best. Whatever.
This car's not
should be
slow, hey?
endorsed by
0 to 100 in 9.1 seconds.
No, it's not. It's not slow.
But I was
bad.
going to ask
It's a
that 'cause
sizable vehicle.
But no, exactly. For that body, does it stop the way it should?
Yes. Yeah, I know it
Because
does.
that's a big thing.
No, Nissan has got their I's dotted, their T's crossed in that sense, in the sense that they know how to piece together a braking system, a steering system, suspension as a whole.
Here's my thing, though.
The
Do you
body's
think
going
that
to change a bit.
perhaps because now we've got the Infinity in the country, right, which is Nissan's basically top of the range,
luxury,
right?
yeah.
Do you think that a lot of the changes that we're seeing in Nissan South Africa is probably because now we have access to Infinity, and they're still trying, because the way I see it, right?
These are still global products.
They are
It's not
global
It's not
products.
locally produced. If it was locally produced, I'd agree with you there.
But
And
Nissan
I'd say
is it not locally produced in Rosslyn?
of them are. The Qashqai, as far as I know, is an import model.
Oh, okay. But which ones are basic South African? Because a lot of Nissan is produced in Rosslyn.
Micras.
Just Micros?
No, Micros and your smaller ones. I'm speaking out of line here. I'm not
Okay.
too sure on the exact product line, but I know Micro is one of those that is produced locally.
But what I'm trying to say is basically, I think they realize that the competition now is huge. I mean, there's so many other cars that you could buy along with the Qashqai, and also they are trying to sell their flagship range, which is the Infinity. And up there, you don't want issues of, but it's basically a Nissan in a negative way.
No, you don't.
You know what I mean?
The same way that it happened with Toyota and Lexus. You don't want them
Exactly.
to say, well, this is just a Toyota with a bit of chrome on it.
Yeah.
You're wanting there to be a definite distinction
yeah.
between the two of them. But in saying that, if Nissan's upping the game so strong, what does Infinity have to do to set itself apart?
Not be so expensive. I'm sorry. At the
That's
price,
what makes it exclusive.
At
That's
the
what makes
price,
it
at the
different.
price that Infinity is in this country, I think that they're not competing with the German brands that we know. I mean, I've looked at the brand, and you look at their 4x4 models, and you look at their convertibles, and even their sporty models, and you think, at this price, I could still get the German one, and I know what I'm expecting with the German competitor.
What is this price?
Well, I mean,
It all depends on what you're
you
looking
look at their is it the FX30?
I don't know.
Their baby 4x4. I mean, that's going at about
It's up against X3, X4.
800,000 rand.
Wow.
Standard. And you're thinking, well, I could actually just get a Range Rover Evoque. Why would I get that? In fact, I could
Or
actually
less.
get a Range Rover
Yeah.
because it's that expensive. You know what I mean? It's up there with the Porsche Cayenne type thing, and you're like, Porsche
Well, I
Cayenne.
don't know. The
But
Cayenne
now-
is way over 1 bar.
Yeah.
Well, hang on. The Cayenne 3-liter diesel, you can get some great ones for about 850.
Second hand.
No, brand new. Obviously without the nice wheels on the poster.
Yeah.
And
So it's a basic entry.
But that's my niggle. That's my niggle here is with the German marks. And I mean, you're highlighting it there, is the fact that you sit there and you see that you
like,
can
I can
go
get a
for...
Cayenne for 850, and then you're like, the wheels are 80,000.
Thank you. It's the
So
options
that's
list.
accessories. So.
Yeah, it's the options list. It's the accessories.
300k later, it's like, so I understand what you meant when you say they're over a bar.
Yes.
Because the thing that makes it look like the one
The
I
picture.
saw in the picture.
That makes it desirable.
And if you want a badge,
Oh my word!
pay for the
So it
badge,
doesn't
right?
even come with a badge.
Yeah, no,
but it is
you have to
the
buy the
options
badge,
list,
right?
So.
I heard that you had to buy. I'm sorry. No, look, you have to buy the badge, otherwise you don't. Okay.
Well, there's something similar. I mean, it's quite a similar thing on the bikes as well, where accessories can end up costing you.
Hang on,
something
bikes have
ridiculous.
accessories now? I thought you just
And
buy the bike. What are you accessorizing?
No.
You get a new stereo?
You can accessorize rims, carbon rims, for example.
Brakes.
You can brakes. No, they come really
okay.
good. Pipes you can accessorize. So you got your carbon fiber pipes as
fancy.
well. Yeah, you can accessorize your foot pegs, your steering dampers,
suppose.
your levers. So you get that reversible lever. So if you crash, they don't break. Apparently. I haven't seen,
Haven't tested
What's a
it.
lever? Sorry, what's a
don't
lever?
want to say.
Your
Like a
brake and
lever,
your
your
clutch
brake
lever.
and clutch lever.
Oh, okay.
You are not doing stunts on bikes, by the way.
No, I'm not.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I'm not ready.
no wonder you missed that intersection.
Had no
What
idea what
is
the brakes
this
were.
thing here?
Yeah, what
Well,
are these for?
it's
Whoa.
a brake, okay?
Yeah, that's the clutch and the brake there, my man.
So basically, they call it rear sets. You can replace it. Just to give you an idea, on like the Ducatis, if we wanted to change rims, it cost us 30 grand for extra set of rims. 30,000 rand for 2 wheels.
For 2 wheels.
For 2 wheels. Then you get your steering damper. It'll cost you, can be anything, probably now between 6 and 10 grand.
Okay.
You get rear sets and all those things that also you get, it's between 5 and 10. I'm not sure exactly now. It depends on which make. You get your Gorilla Zilla, you get your carbon sets. Your pipes is crazy. It's like 40 grand.
Pipes has been a big
Yeah.
game for a long time.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're making them out of some exotic materials
Yeah, yeah.
as well. So
Oh,
it's
okay.
like full titanium.
Look, you got to understand.
I mean, do those
yeah.
pipes
robotic
give-
welded.
Give real
Extra power? They
because
do.
all I see is noise.
No, look, it's
Loud
a
pipes save
sound.
lives.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
no,
actually,
it does.
good point.
It's a sound
You
thing,
need the noise.
but it is also a horsepower thing for sure.
okay.
Ducati is one like whatever they sell as well. I can tell you, and I'm saying that now specifically because of the review I want to do on the Panigale. But whatever they give you, it's guaranteed. Whatever specs is on there.
Cool.
And that is largely the reason why it increases power as well, is because South Africa doesn't have the emissions regulations that the European or the American markets have. So what we can do is we can de-restrict a pipe, make it considerably louder, make it considerably more free flow without the catalytic converter or anything of the sorts in it, and that frees up the power. It's strangled and restricted like that for the overseas markets.
But not so much anymore. I must tell you guys that on the bikes now, the catalytic converter doesn't really cut power anymore. It's actually amazing to see. We did a test on a new 600, and we took it out. We did the test before with a stock standard with a horrible looking pipe, and then cut it out and put a performance pipe on, and there was maybe 2 horsepower difference.
As little as that?
I promise you. So weight wise is the biggest thing. So it affects the weight. But I got to tell you, like on the 899 Panigale, the Ducati that I test rode now last week,
Please do tell us more about that.
I have to tell you, this is like a real red carpet bike. Everyone just makes way for you.
You mean on the highway? People
everywhere,
kind of like this. You're like,
everywhere.
oh, well, it's a Ducati. Let me actually
They just-
notice the motorcyclist and
You
get out the way.
cannot miss it. Firstly, it's red, so it's beautiful. Okay. When George, you were saying about noise, the sound of this thing, you pay attention. So when I'm coming through, people just go out of the way.
Okay.
Now, I also had to go do some stunt work last week, but I arrived
What
now
did
on
you?
this bike. Okay, but I didn't go do it on the Ducati. I just went there with it. So I had like all these people turning around because you can't miss it. It's loud.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful, and it got so much attention. Everyone just comes to look at this bike.
You know what? I was an R1 fan up to today.
It's beautiful.
For
I can
like
see.
the last
converted.
20 years, I was an
Open it.
R1
Let
fan.
me check out the picture there,
That's
George.
pretty cool. That
It's
is
gorgeous,
very,
and
very
they
cool.
come in. It's like a beautiful red and like a pearl white as well. and I think I'm not sure about the other colors as well, but those two I'm definitely sure about. And
Great.
it's a 898cc bike, okay? It's like 1,000. You could be mistaking it for 1,000.
It's as near as makes no difference to a 900, but in
100%.
terms of the power that Ducati makes over some of the other motors out there. Yeah.
And it's got
liter bike.
it's a twin motor.
What does it go for?
My word.
That's the
I actually, yeah.
main of it.
Lovely.
Because it is...
I actually was so in love with it, I didn't actually check the price. But that would be a good thing to check just now.
The ladies usually don't. They're like, I just like it. Make it happen.
It's red. I like it.
Look, it's got torque. When you open it, it goes. It
So
stops.
it looks like it's sitting at around
Would
the
be over
late
200,000,
200,000,
yeah.
so 280, 290,000
Which,
rand.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
stiff. I mean,
Not too
that's
bad.
quite a bit for a bike.
Look,
eh?
yeah, but this is not a bike. You know, this is
This is a
look,
sports car bike.
Exactly.
It is. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Exactly. Look, when you sit on it, it feels, everything about it feels right. It is, I have to tell you that our roads, unfortunately, doesn't bring it to its full potential,
Why
even
is that?
remotely. Because for
Too many
me,
bumps?
yes, for me, this is a Grand Prix bike. You know what I mean?
But here's the thing: hasn't that always been the complaint about Dukes? You know, with Ducatis, like they've always been like the hard bike to ride.
No, look, a superbike in any shape or form or model, doesn't
Yeah.
matter who, is
It's
hard
a
on our roads.
sports, you know.
Yeah, it's a sports bike. A sitting position is not necessarily comfortable. You might have some strain on your wrists, your neck, your knees are completely bent. So you're in a sporty position. When you're on the track, that doesn't bug you at all because you're moving around the whole time. You can't do the same on the road.
I notice it only has one swing arm.
Yes.
So similar to the BMWs.
To some of them as well, yeah. Some of them are single-sided swing arm, but some
No,
are dual.
You're not a big fan of that. You're actually
I'm
not a
not.
big fan of
I'm
single-sided
not.
swing arms. We've had this discussion before.
Yeah.
You said that it tends to be a little skittish and doesn't quite give you the confidence in the rear.
I have to, now I'm also talking from past experience when I used to race them though, okay, that it used to flex a little bit too much for my liking. So when you're going down the mine shaft, you're going down 6th gear, I don't like a bike to flex too much, and that's what the single swing arm used to do. But they have changed and I have not raced them since. On the road, that's not an issue. It's high speeds and high speed cornering. That's where you start feeling it.
It's interesting because that's exactly what you're going to do with a bike like that. You are going to take it almost to its limit as often as you can. So,
But you won't feel that on the road, even
Okay.
remotely. You know what I mean?
Because you're not actually going to that
Yeah,
limit
if-
as you
if-
would when you're racing.
Yeah, if you go back to when Troy Bayliss was still racing Ducati as well, you'll see that some of the things that they were saying is like he used to like it. He used to like the bike flexing underneath him and he could feel it. So it depends on the rider as well. You know, do you like something like it's a motocross rider versus a road rider?
Absolutely, yeah.
Do you like the bike moving around? Don't you? I don't. I like traction. You know.
I'm just thinking of it in terms of a general racing setup.
Yeah.
Some guys like a little bit of body roll to work with, or
Yes.
they like a little bit of flex in the
Same with the
chassis just so
cars,
that they can
100.
feel where the weight is being positioned. Others want it to be as stiff as a tea tray and just skating around without, eins zwei, just straight ahead. And I can only liken it to that some guys want that sort of feel and feedback. They want something almost malleable underneath them.
Well, I mean, I tell you what. I mean, I'm a cyclist, and I've got two bikes. I've got an aluminium a road bike, and I've got a full carbon fiber road bike.
And is there a difference in those as well?
Absolute difference. When you ride the carbon fiber bike, so when you're climbing a steep hill, the bike does not flex. You can feel that it doesn't flex. I mean, you might think it's strange, but when you ride the aluminium bike, it's very different. It almost molds to your movements. So I can believe the stiffness is a problem.
Yeah.
Do you find that one over the other robs you of efficiency, though? Let's say on an incline like that.
Because the rigid bike, the carbon fiber bike, puts all the power from your legs straight onto the wheels.
Straight onto it. Whereas
So you're more efficient.
You're more
And it's
efficient.
also lighter.
And
isn't
But
the
it's less
aluminium one.
comfortable.
Okay.
But now what's interesting with this as well is it's got the front suspension fully adjustable as well, and the rear suspension also. And this is one of the things that have been absolutely amazing about Ducati. Look, a lot of the other manufacturers also have it now these days, but they've always had fully adjustable suspension, things you can set properly for your weight, for the type of riding that you like. Generally, they come out really well set up standard, so people like buying it for a road bike. You don't even have to change, unless there's really, you're either very small or very big, whatever the case
Yeah,
might
setting it
be.
up for your own weight.
Yeah, but for track riding and those kind of things, and when you're experienced rider, it's nice to play with because you can adjust those kind of things, and those are also things that you can change aftermarket products that cost money if you want to go the racing route. But they also have quite a nice, in terms of their warranty, they have a 24-month unlimited mileage warranty.
Which I don't know. Do you think that's a good thing?
What do you mean? Why
Well,
would it not be a good thing?
Yeah,
This is not the kind of bike that you're buying for a daily commute. This is a weekend toy.
But some people do though, and you know what? One of the
Panigale
things.
for a daily commute.
Yeah, I wouldn't
They
want
need
to.
hulle moet
that
hulle
you-
koppe laat leef.
Wouldn't you like to come to
Hold
work
up.
in a Ferrari?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Exactly.
What's the problem here? What exactly is your problem with taking this to work every day?
know what?
If you can.
I can understand
Chad,
that.
you've
yes,
got to keep in
there
mind.
is a possibility.
People have complained, and that's due to a lack of knowledge, that Ducati is expensive when it comes to servicing and when it comes to spares and those kind of things. I think the same thing with maybe BM or Audi or whatever
Well,
else.
those, like, you got
Those-
maintenance plan. I mean, I suppose we're pitting it up to a Ferrari, like George
yeah,
said. Would you
100%.
drive a Ferrari to work?
It's that sport. Do you want to put that sort of mileage on it? Yes, granted, I'm a firm advocate that cars are built to be driven. So yes, drive the car. Don't let it sit there under a cover, rotting away. That's not what a car is. Go out there and drive it. But drive it in a considerably more controlled, relaxed environment where you're not sitting
a
and
good
fighting
question.
Well,
with the
you know
commutes
what?
and
You know what?
taxis
Wow.
and pedestrians and motorbikes.
Yeah,
all
no,
that sort of stuff.
In
There's-
traffic, people are irritable. You want to go out on a Sunday when people are
Car's not built. That bike is not built
Yeah.
for traffic.
No.
It's
I
built
don't
for
know
an
if I
open
want-
No, it's
road,
not.
so it's a weekend
but I go
toy.
in between cars.
But I'm thinking, like, but
How
then
risky?
would you, what would you buy? Like, let's say you have a Duke, right? Like, you got that Ducati,
Yeah.
and then what do you buy then for during the week? Or is what you're saying? Because this is what I would do if I had a bike. Any bike that I had would always be for the weekend or for the odd day when I'm
990
rushing.
Adventure.
That's
Isn't
it, right?
isn't some of this weekend thing a bit of an excuse for not being able to afford a Ferrari or a Ducati? Because often the Ferrari drivers insure their Ferraris only for limited mileage and times.
Okay.
So
Yes,
it's
yes.
not
That's a
fully
good trade.
comprehensively insured 24/7. The thing has to be parked in a garage.
And I got to stick
Similar
them,
to flying.
Yeah, bring the mileage down.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
But
you gotta
is
bring
that
mileage
an
down.
affordability thing, or is that just being efficient with your resources,
yeah, I
knowing
think it's
that you're
efficient.
not going to
Knowing
drive
that you're
your
not going
Ferrari
to,
every
yes,
day?
yeah.
Why would you want to insure it?
But
for the
our
road?
Hey, I
insurance-
drive the bloody thing every day.
Well, the bike insurance doesn't allow for that. It doesn't actually give that option.
Yeah.
I haven't
Say
seen
what?
that kind of limited
Wow.
Because
mileage
I think
option.
it's just because of the pure nature of it and the sense
and
that
considered
a lot
high
of the-
risk regardless.
A lot of the bikes are used
Yeah.
on their breakfast runs, which,
Yeah.
as we know, is a bit of a hooligan fest with high-speed runs out, whether it's Hartbeespoort down to
That's
the Vaal
true.
or something of the sort.
and it's
If you only want to insure it for
unfortunate.
that, then that's
Yeah.
probably
But
when
it's
you're going
wrong
to use it.
to put everyone in the bike industry in that bracket.
No,
I
no,
think
no,
it's
no.
very
I know
wrong.
it's-
But that's what insurance
I know it's a
companies have done.
stereotype, but yeah, they need to go with what is
Yeah.
majority.
It's an interesting thing that we've posed here, because actually when you buy a bike like that, are you really going to buy a bike like that, like you're saying, first of all, to drive to
For
commute?
the commute, no.
And if you are going to commute, are you going to sit there quietly, just minding your own business, riding at 60 k's an hour in the traffic in a bike that's so skittery and just wants to
yeah,
go all the time?
thirdly, is the bike going to like it?
Yeah,
is the bike
gonna
well
be
suited
so
to that?
angry
No
with you.
super bike. Well, no bike likes traffic anyway. They don't handle it well. They overheat. So it isn't ideal. Any bike, I think, for traffic. But that's why you like the adventure, because you probably climb pavements and things with it.
Not in that sense. It's the same. It's that 4x4 mentality of you're sitting slightly higher. It's a little more maneuverable.
Yeah, but
It's a little
they still
thinner.
overheat.
No, they do. but,
That's the problem with any bike. So mostly they're not really. That's why go in between the car, man. Don't sit behind the car.
No, I'm not
really.
saying I'm all for lane splitting if you do it in a responsible
Yes,
manner.
100%.
Responsible speed when
Yeah.
vehicles
Yeah.
are backed up. But if you're sitting there and you in and out of them and you're doing ridiculous speeds and you're just being a bit of a yob about it, then I've got a problem with it.
Yeah.
And
I think
sadly,
that's
it's
one
those
extreme.
few bad apples that ruin it for the rest of them.
The other extreme that I have a problem with bikers with is someone getting through the traffic in the middle to the front and then slowing down.
Oh yes.
It's like you got in front of me, you went through the traffic, and now I'm trying to go.
But people in cars
and
do
now
that.
you're like just chilling in. Why did you get in front of me, man? Just like why?
Sadly, and
it's
I'm
like
go-
taxi drivers do that a lot.
I'm going to stereotype it because 9 times out of 10, when
Why?
this happens, there's a white box on the back and they're delivering something to somewhere. It's one of those delivery guys.
Fair
that are
enough.
scooting-
Fair enough. Because their scooters are quite slow, but
Yeah.
it's happened to me before. I actually almost had a road rage incident with two guys, on Witkoppen, and yes, they were driving rather low-end, slower motorcycles, these gentlemen. But what I couldn't understand was, I've let you through, because I saw them coming, and I actually opened so that they could go through. They came and they went into the front, and I was like, cool, they're on bikes, they're going to move off.
Yeah.
Now I'm going, and they decide, no, actually, now we'll just like to slow down now that we're in front. And I'm like, why did you want? That's what I don't understand about any driver, whether you're on a motorbike or in a taxi, which happens a lot. You watch these taxis down,
You push
William
in and
Nicol,
slow down.
and they literally
Worst place for them.
break the law on the side, of the traffic light, in the yellow lane.
Yeah.
As that robot turns, like before it even turns green, they're moving. They get in front, then they slow down.
Oh no, he's
It's
just
not
the other
stop.
side of the
Yeah,
intersection.
he's gonna
he stops. And you're like, dude, what are you doing?
Why did you do that?
Why?
You could have just gone and stopped.
If you were behind me, you would have saved me a lot of PT and blood pressure here.
But I want to know, Tumisho, what do you drive?
Yeah, what do you drive?
Don't you have
Let's
a
hear,
bull
let's
bar
hear.
on
Why
the
don't we
front?
talk a bit about
I would
celebrity
love
cars?
to.
Yeah.
Well, we're supposed
I'd
to
love
get to
to get a
celebrity
bull
cars. We
bar.
ran
I'd
away
love
with
to get a
time
bull
again.
bar, but I'm not. I'd love to get a bull bar for the practicality, but it's not my style. You know what I mean? I'm not that
It
kind
is
of guy.
mine. I'm sorry, but
Doesn't a bull bar fit on your City Golf?
No, it doesn't fit on my my.
come on, why are you being so shy?
No, the reason why I'm being shy is because it's like I always feel like I'm giving away airtime to like these car manufacturers.
They didn't pay. You paid
And
for it.
I paid top dollar for it. You know what I mean? I went to the dealership and I paid. And I remember, especially with this one car that I drive, which I'll tell you, I got the Revoke, okay? And I remember when they first came out, because I knew the marketing team, and they were like, "Oh, you're invited to the launch and blah blah." And I was so excited because I thought maybe they'd throw one in, And they didn't. So they gave it away to a couple of celebs for like, the sad thing was those guys got it for 6 months. And I was like, at the time I couldn't afford one. And I can imagine driving this car for 6 months. Everyone sees you in this amazing car.
And they got it down.
And then 6 months later, you got to give it back and
You gotta
explain
almost keep
what
up the
happened.
appearance.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's almost like, dude, what happened? Did you like lose your job or something? No,
But that makes you a genuine celebrity. What about the celebrities that drive Bentleys?
You know what? If they can afford it, good for them, eh?
So who do you know that drives really, really fancy cars?
Yeah, who's out there that
I
you
know
need to be looking
Euphonic
out for?
drives a Ghost, a Rolls Royce. Bonang,
wow.
his ex-girlfriend. Those two do quite well, eh? Maybe it's
Doing
like
what,
if you
though?
go out with Bonang, you might just do well. He's a DJ,
What is-
Bonang's she's got a production company. She's a DJ, radio DJ. She's a TV presenter. She's the face of Revlon. She's got her own lingerie line at Woolworths. So I mean,
So she's
if she
selling her
doesn't drive a
goods,
great
yeah.
car,
Then
then
there's
like
a
none of
problem.
us can.
No,
And then she drives a G63 and an A45 or CLS
3
45.
exotic cars.
Yeah.
But does she own them?
Yeah.
Well,
Oh.
that's a good question.
I
Does
don't
she
know.
own them or does the bank
I'd be
own
su-
them?
No, I'd be surprised if the bank still owns them because I mean, like she's got a lingerie thing at like brand, like a whole range at Woolworths.
So you
And she's the
thinking
face
lingerie
of-
makes money?
of- lingerie must make some money. People want to buy that. I mean, especially at Woolies. That's a great place to have lingerie because like everyone goes to Woolies to buy underwear and socks and things like that. While you're there, you're like, you know what? May as well get some nice lingerie, right? Especially for the
No,
ladies.
I don't buy bullies.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
I'm not going to agree with
Really?
you
What
there.
kind of lingerie do you wear?
I've never heard of this DJ. DJ Black Coffee.
Black
You know,
coffee? You don't
yeah.
know Black Coffee?
No, I don't know DJ Black Coffee.
Black Coffee-
Drives a Bentley.
I'm
Oh
not
my
surprised.
word.
Black Coffee's an international music producer. He's not just he's a DJ, but he calls himself DJ Black Coffee. But he's actually an international music producer. His stuff isn't. In fact, he's living in the States at the moment. He used to live here. He's got a house in Sandhurst. So now he's like they're living in the States. He's doing all right.
Wow.
That's more than all right. I can understand the Bentley.
Well, sadly,
DJs do much better than actors.
I
like
was going to say,
fresh-
but
no actors like
haven't
really.
you considered going into
I think,
DJ?
I used to be a DJ when I started out in the late 90s when we still had vinyls. I should have stuck to it.
And you
I'd
chose
be rich.
you chose acting instead
For the art, for my sins.
in our South African field.
well, I want to say a big thank you, Tumisho. Absolutely fantastic having you in studio.
Guys, I had a lot of fun.
We've
It's something
run
a
out
little
of
different.
time.
Hey? Yeah, we run
Yeah.
out of time again. We were going to chat about it, but it always does this. I want to say a big thank you to George Mini as well from AutoTrader. At George Mini, if you want to get in on the conversation there.
At George Mini, and don't forget to watch Formula One Singapore coming up this weekend.
Yeah, look forward to that. I love it.
Yes,
Very
yes.
nice.
And
And
the
then-
World Superbikes, in
Yeah.
Spain.
Okay.
It's
And then
happening.
we've got Vilmarie Janssen van Rensburg. Thank you very much for joining us as well.
Thank you. At SA Speed Queen.
At SA Speed Queen.
It was great.
At Tumisho Masha. Do you want people to actually get in the conversation with you?
Yeah, they must actually come. Let's talk about it.
Let's
Because
talk
I
about
know
it.
that I go on AutoTrader and salivate at some of the cars there and think, one day.
It's called car porn.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That's what
I
it
used to
is.
get those for for the bathroom. I won't say like
Yeah, no doubt.
There's nothing better for the bathroom when you're just sitting there by yourself. You've got 30
Watching
minutes. And you're just
AutoTrader.
like, car porn. Ooh, look at that M3.
Well, yeah, folks, and you can get hold of AutoTrader on all the social media channels, AutoTrader SA, Facebook, Twitter, and of course the website, autotrader.co.za. That's all that we've got time for you here today. Thank you very much for joining us on Auto Central. Get in on the conversation. Hashtag Auto Central. Don't forget, hashtag Drive Change. My name's Chad Lukov. It's been great. We'll see you here next week. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Auto Central, powered by AutoTrader on CliffCentral.com. This is CliffCentral.com.